Hi, I'm Nathalie Cox. I play Juno Eclipse in The Force Unleashed, and you're listening to Wolfpack Podcast.
All right, hey everybody. Thank you for listening to the Wolfpack CCMM podcast again. We really appreciate it. And today we have a very special guest. You know her as Juno Eclipse in Star Wars: The Force Unleashed and Force Unleashed 2. That is Nathalie Cox.
Hello. Hi, everybody.
And it's an absolute honor to have you on. We're very excited, and we have obviously our main hosts. Logan is not here, and Marco is not here, or Curto, but we do have obviously Nabil, Chris, and Mike.
Hi, guys. Thanks for having me. I'm really pleased to be here.
We're glad you can make it with us.
Yeah, thank you very much.
So we'll let Mike ask his first question.
Oh, hi. I just wanted to ask you, how did you get into acting in the first place?
Well, it was a bit of sort of fortuitous. I kind of fell into it, really. I've been modeling for quite a few years, but acting was always something that I really wanted to do. And I'd been in the drama club at school and things like that. And my parents were always saying that I was constantly putting on plays for them and skits when I was a kid. So I don't think they were surprised when I sort of turned around and said, actually, I'm going to give acting a go. I got my first film role in Kingdom of Heaven through my modeling agency. And that's how I ended up getting an acting agent. And it just kind of went from there, really. I literally am very, very fortunate that I fell into it, and I didn't sort of have to slog out at drama school and then do community theatre for 12 years before I got an agent. I know that I've been very, very lucky, and I am blessed. But yeah, it was kind of just sort of all happened, and all the, everything was lined up in a row, and one thing led to another sort of thing. So that was it, basically, and I've just run with it ever since.
Very good.
Yeah.
Okay, Nabil's question.
What was the most challenging part for you in making the Force Unleashed? Was it the face capture motion stuff or the voiceover? What was that like for you?
The whole process of filming for the recording for the Force Unleashed was brand new to me. I'd never done a voiceover job like that before, and I'd never done motion capture before. So when my agent called me up and said, do you want to do this? Do you want to go up for this computer game? And I'd had a couple of friends who'd done computer games. They always said it was really good fun. And my agent was like, it's kind of extra cool because it's Star Wars. And I was like, oh, okay, yeah, that'd be great. Let me go and see what happens. And got the part, and then, but still didn't really know what it was going to involve. And I honestly thought that I would just be in a booth in front of a microphone recording my voice. And when they explained to me they were doing facial motion capture and everything, I mean, it was just amazing. I learned so much on that job. The technicians and everybody out at LucasArts was just absolutely incredible and talked me through it all. And it was a learning experience because for the first time you have these dots on your face and you kind of have to forget that they're there, and you obviously don't look the most attractive thing in the world. And it is a whole new experience because you've got cameras around you in the studio. But luckily, you're in the studio, in the recording booth with the other actors. So me and Sam Whitwell were in the recording booth together. So you can feed off each other. So it's not just like a voice recording job where it's just you and the microphone. You actually are with other people, and you can have that rapport with them, which is great. But it was just, I literally was learning as I went along, and it has set me up because I've gone on to do other voice stuff and other motion capture things. And what I learned on that job has just been absolutely invaluable. So it was hard to kind of get my head around what we were doing. And the technology was brand new. And I, wasn't hugely into computer games, but kind of understood them a little bit. But they were telling me stuff and I was just like, this is going to be amazing. It just blew my mind. The whole technology they were using was just so intense, and it was just great. It was a fantastic experience, but it was a learning curve, definitely.
Wow, awesome. All right, right on. Thank you.
Now that we're kind of talking about Star Wars, how does it feel being part of the Star Wars universe, and also, how has the fan response been?
Oh my God, it's amazing. I mean, I can't believe that I'm part of the Star Wars universe. I'm on Wikipedia. And like I have
awesome,
an action
ain't it?
figure, and I'm like, this is so cool. All these things that I didn't. There's a Lego set of the Rogue Shadow.
Yep.
So there's like a little Lego Juno Eclipse.
Do you have that? Do you have that in the figure?
I do
too?
have that, yeah.
Oh, that's
And I
cool.
have the figure. Yeah, I know. I kind of got really into it. I mean, it sort of unleashed the inner geek in me, I think, and I just went a bit nuts. So, yeah, I have all the stuff that goes with it. But it's incredible because I was a Star Wars fan slightly before I got involved with that. I'd seen the original movies and liked them and knew all the characters and everything. But this just kind of took it to a whole other level. And you're part of this massive worldwide thing. It's huge. Star Wars is huge. There's no getting around it. And to be a part of that is just absolutely amazing. It's just incredible.
Right,
I have to
definitely.
pinch myself, really.
That brings me to my next question. When you were working on Force Unleashed and Force Unleashed 2, who did you get to work with? Who were you with in the recording studios?
Most of my stuff obviously is with Sam Witwer, who plays Starkiller. David Collins was there, who plays Proxy, because he also worked at LucasArts at the time, as well as doing the voice for Proxy as well. For the second game, I worked with Cully as well, who plays General Coda. And Adrian Wilkinson was there on the first game, she plays Maris Brood. So everyone was there, and we did big table reads, and we read through the script and everything, because the whole process of doing it is you approach it the same way that you approach a film almost. There's an entire script that is like a film script. And so you go through it and we talk about it and develop the characters, which is really important. So the fact that you're with the other actors at the time is great. You can bounce ideas off them and stuff like that. And Sam is just the biggest Star Wars fan that I've ever met in my entire life. I mean, I'm amazed he didn't burst into flames whilst he was filming because he was so excited. But he was great because if ever I had a question about something, I could go to him. He was like my go-to guy for anything to do with Star Wars, basically. But yeah, so, I was working with all of those people, and then there's Hayden Blackman who developed the whole idea and everything. I mean, it's such a great team. Everyone at LucasArts was just absolutely amazing, and they made me feel really welcome and part of this amazing thing that we were doing at the time. It was just incredible.
Right, definitely. Now, obviously, Sam now actually works on, Star Wars: The Clone Wars. He's the voice of Darth Maul.
Yeah.
So that was my next question. Would you be interested in ever, doing another Star Wars part, whether it's an animation or the movies?
Oh, God, I'd love to. I'm like constantly on the phone to my agent going, they're doing another Star Wars film? Can you get me in? I think everybody would like to be in the new Star Wars film, definitely.
Oh, yeah.
I'd love to do something else. I mean, I'd love to. A lot of people ask if there's going to be a third game because there was a bit of a cliffhanger at the end of the second one. Yeah. So that it tends to be the question that I get asked quite a lot. I don't know the answer to that question at all. I would love there to be a third game because I would love to go back and play Juno again because I just think she's such a great character and I had so much fun doing it. So I would, if that opportunity came up, great. If I got offered something else, maybe with Star Wars Rebels or something like that as a different character, then bring it on. I'd be there 100%. Where do I sign? Because it's just it's such a great thing to be part of, in the fan base and the community and everything. You feel like you're part of something, and it's fantastic to be in that and to, have played a part in something so big as Star Wars is just incredible. I never thought that I would ever get to do something like that.
Right, it's awesome for sure. I think that would be a really cool thing if Juno came back in Star Wars Rebels. So hopefully you get to reprise her role in Star Wars Rebels.
I would love that. Can we somehow get a campaign going or something? Bring back Juno Eclipse. Yeah, I would definitely love that. I think it would be really great. There's so much out there that the possibilities. Because we don't know what's going to happen now with Disney taking over and everything. So I think it's just a case of we're going to have to wait and see where it goes. But yeah, I would definitely love to do something again.
That would be awesome. All right, Mike, your next question. All right,
Mike's
Nabil.
gone home.
All right, Nabil, your next question.
Me? Okay. I'm not too sure if this is true or not, right? But you had a little small part in the movie Jumper, right?
Yes, I did. Tiny
Okay,
parts.
I
Yeah.
thought so. All right, so good. So then, I mean, did it ever cross your mind, like, man, okay, I'm working with Anakin Skywalker
Yeah.
on the set? I mean, that is just the coolest thing in the world. When I saw it the other day, I'm like, oh my gosh, is that Natalie? And I tried
Yeah.
to look it up on the internet, but my internet started freaking out. But I had to make sure. So, I mean, that is cool that you actually got to play a part, and I guess an intense part, so to speak, with Darth Vader himself, and also his apprentice.
I
I
know.
mean,
It's
how
kind
is
of
that?
like I call it 6 degrees of separation of Star Wars kind of thing, because I've worked with Liam Neeson twice as well on Kingdom of Heaven and on Clash of the Titans,
Mhm.
and then worked with Hayden Christensen on Jumper, and obviously Samuel L. Jackson was in Jumper as well. And so it's
Right.
like you kind of do connect the dots as to who's been in what, and it all comes back to Star Wars basically.
Right.
It was pretty cool actually working with Hayden. He's a really great guy. I mean, I had a tiny part. I was out in Canada for about a week filming. You know, it's literally blink or you'll miss me kind of thing. But it was great. It was really good fun to do it. And we talked about Star Wars, and you know, it was just
Oh, really?
yeah. I mean, it's one of those things that it comes up in conversation. You'd be surprised, you know, and when you're on set and you're not, there's kind of a bit of downtime, and you're all sort of going, you know, it's it was fantastic. You know, it's weird to kind of think, oh, he's been in Star Wars and he's been in the movies and then I've been in the game, and it's, you know, all these kind of weird connections.
Yeah.
And obviously working with Liam Neeson was amazing because he's such an incredible actor. I mean, he's just one of my all-time heroes, you know, and then I got to work with him twice, which was just absolutely incredible. You know, it's just, it is kind of funny that we're all connected in some way. I'm sure like there's a nucleus somewhere that's like the Kevin Bacon of the world, you know, but of Star Wars, that he's worked with everybody in Star Wars somewhere. So maybe that's my ambition in life. I'm going to eventually work with everybody who's been in Star Wars at some point.
That would be awesome, man. Yeah. We were
It'd be
just
so
recently,
great.
it was funny because we were just recently in a different podcast, we were talking about how Star Wars Rebels is based between episodes 3 and 4, and so is The Force Unleashed. So I mean,
Yeah.
we were kind of hoping that we could probably see a glimpse or a little bit of Starkiller, and if so, then we most likely will see Juno and the rest. I mean, there's so
Yeah.
many opportunities now with the new trilogy plus Rebels. I mean, you know, hopefully you do get that opportunity to at least be involved in it.
It would be
in an even bigger
amazing.
way.
Yeah, and I think as well it would be quite nice because there was this massive cliffhanger and it did get left, you know, sort of unanswered really. And I think a lot of people really enjoyed the stories of the Force Unleashed, and it would be quite nice to give it some kind of ending, you know. And I think people do ask me what I think would, you know, happen to Starkiller and Juno, and are they off somewhere happily married with like, you know, 3 Rugrats kind of thing, like, or whether they're still like flying around the universe trying to find Jedi. I don't know. But I think it would be quite nice if they finished it somehow, you know, and whether they finish that with a book or whether they finish that in Star Wars Rebels or if they do a third game. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I have no idea whatsoever, but it would be nice if there was some kind of conclusion, and it would be awesome if I got to be part of it. Yeah.
Right.
That would be pretty neat.
Definitely. I think that's something that surprised a lot of us with Force Unleashed 3 not coming out. But I know that Sam's talked about how there is a third script. And he's read it. And so, you know, hopefully that comes out because it's ready. You know, the story is ready. But
I definitely think that they intended it to be, I know for a fact they intended it to be 3, you know, so it just seems a shame that for whatever reasons it got kind of put on the back burner. And, you know, and like I said, with the takeover, I mean, you know, who knows what's going to happen now? It's kind of wait and see and hope that it doesn't all get messed up in the process. So watch this space. Trust me, if I find out anything and I can let you know, I will do.
awesome. I think it's time for a campaign.
Yeah, I know, right? I will front that by all means. I'm quite happy to do that.
That would be awesome. All right, Chris, your next question?
Between modeling, voice acting, and regular acting, which is more fun to you, and what makes you like break out more? You know, like kind of get in the zone.
Oh wow! I mean, that's a tough question because I love what I do, and I know I'm very blessed to be able to do something that I really absolutely love to pieces. And modeling something, I started modeling when I was, a teenager, and I do love it. I've done it for years, and so it's part of who I am almost, and I do still enjoy it. But acting is just a whole other level almost, that you can get your teeth into it and become a different person. And there's something really exciting about taking a character that's just got a few lines of this is who they are, and then you develop them into an actual living person. Is amazing. So I think it's really hard to say what I would enjoy the most, because there are some acting jobs that are absolutely brilliant and I love them, and then there are some modeling jobs that are incredible and I get to go to wonderful places and wear really nice clothes, and it's just really good fun. Please don't hate me. It's really hard work as well. Okay. But like the voice work is quite good as well. I do enjoy that because it's more focused on, it's very specific, and you're in a studio and it's a more insular kind of thing. So, all of them, they're very different jobs, but they're all absolutely brilliant. And I really can't pick one, which one I like the most, because they are all amazing. And I'm really lucky that I get to do them.
That's good.
It could be worse. I could be working in McDonald's or something like that. So I know I'm very lucky.
All right, so my next question is, in the Force Unleashed game, Juno, it's kind of, she bombed this very big Felucian-type planet, and she seems like she's very scarred from that. Now, obviously, when Juno went into the Imperial Army, it was just to impress her father, so do you think that, that she really likes the Imperials, or do you think that's just something she did just to impress her father?
Well, I think the way I approached Juno was that she is that kind of girl who she's obviously very intelligent and very driven and academically, done very, very well. And yes, that she has this kind of need to impress her father and to impress herself almost, that she's constantly pushing herself further and further. And I think what I found most interesting about her character is that she is like that and does everything by the book. And then all of a sudden, this guy comes along and kind of turns her world upside down, and she realizes that she has a choice in things, and she doesn't have to do everything the right way, or what she thinks is, to follow the rules. And she can kind of follow her heart all of a sudden. And that's what I found the most interesting about Juno, because she starts off as this kind of hardcore, quite cold, driven person. And then all of a sudden there's a little chink in the armor comes, and that's what makes her really interesting, I think, that she changes and follows her heart. And she's still very powerful, and she's a great female character. I mean, she's so strong and she knows her own mind, but it's when she meets this guy and all of a sudden everything changes.
Right.
That's the really interesting part for me. But we had a lot of discussion about sort of how cold she should be at the beginning, and after all, she works for the Imperial Army, so she is, and she's quite high up, so she's got to be very businesslike almost. But then Starkiller comes along, and I think that's what makes the first game so interesting, is the dynamic between those two characters and what happens as a result of them meeting. Definitely. It's such a great story.
Oh, without a doubt. Definitely.
Yeah. I mean, that's a credit to the scriptwriters by all means, and the story developments, because they came up with something that was just absolutely amazing. To read when I first read the script, I literally was just like, oh my God, it's like reading a movie. This is just going to be absolutely amazing. And they did such a great job. It was great.
Yeah, they've on YouTube, they put all the clips together and kind of made it into a full movie. So
I know, it's really cool. I have seen it. It's really cool. It's kind of weird watching myself like a computer-generated version of myself with my voice. So it's slightly strange, but I know it's fun. It's really good. It's kind of cool that you're like, I'm a computer character, but it looks like me. So it's cool.
Definitely. Now, do you own the game? Oh,
yeah,
sorry, Chris.
I'm sorry. I was actually asking the same thing. Have you played the game, or?
I have played the game. I have. I've got both of them. I have a PS3.
Oh, very sweet.
I know. I have my Xbox One on order though, pre-order.
Ooh,
so
me too.
I'm totally gaming up with like everything now. I do play computer games. I'm not the best gamer in the world. I have to say that I don't have the time to sit there for like 17 hours and play from start to finish. So I kind of dip in and out. So I've played both games. I find the first game really actually quite hard. I don't know.
Right.
I think the second
It is
game's a little
harder than the
easier.
second one, yeah.
Yeah. So, but I do think that it's quite funny that, you know, I'll be playing and all of a sudden my voice comes over and starts saying something. And I'm like, oh, God, that's me. Okay. So, yeah, I do have the games. And I think I'm probably going to try and get one for the Xbox if they do it for the Xbox One, just to see what it's like on a different console. Be kind of cool.
Oh, definitely.
Well, the next game.
I have it on my little Nintendo DS as well, but obviously the graphics on that are really
Yeah, right. Yeah.
not great. But yeah, so I'm definitely Force Unleashed up to the eyeballs.
Nice.
You'll have to get Star Wars Battlefront when that comes out for Xbox One and PS4.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, definitely.
For sure.
Definitely. I've got the Star Wars Lego, which is actually my favorite game to play.
Oh, that's
Oh yeah,
fun.
those
games are
are
awesome,
a blast.
They're so cool, aren't they? They're like my favorite one. So yeah, I do kind of, you know, when I have time to sit down, I do indulge slightly in a bit of a gaming session. But I'm definitely not the best gamer in the world. I mean, there are people out there that are just absolutely incredible. I think I need to do some serious catching up, but I'm working on it.
What was your favorite level in both of the games?
Oh, sorry. Can you say that again? You're a little bit. He sounds like a droid. It's so sweet.
That's actually good.
What's my favorite? What?
What was your favorite level in the first game and the second game?
Oh God! I know you're asking me. But no, because now I'm going to, that'll give it away that I can only get to like the second level before I die repeatedly and can't get past it. I've only ever seen it completed on the YouTube cutscenes. It's really hard. In my defense, the first game is really hard. I just like both of the games. I almost wanted to get it on the Wii actually, so that I could stand there and pretend I've got a lightsaber in my hand.
Oh yeah, the Wii version's very fun.
You know, that would be quite cool. So I think, I don't know, I'm getting the Xbox this year, so maybe next year I'll have to upgrade and get a Wii as well, so I can have a go and see what that's like.
Nice. Yeah, the Wii is went out of business?
Yeah, without production.
Yeah.
They're not making them anymore?
No.
Well, the one that came out now is it's called the Wii U. It replaced the regular Wii, but it still plays the games from like years ago. So you'll be good.
Okay.
If you get that one, you'll be fine.
Okay, good. I'll put it on my Christmas list.
Now the Wii, like the version, the stand version, it's pretty cheap. Like I think it's going down almost to $50 though.
Really?
Yeah.
That's pretty good actually. Well, because my PS3 actually died on me recently, which was very sad. I know. I think the motor went in it. So I was like, do I get a PS4? But then I was getting the Xbox One, so I can't really justify getting two major ones. So I bought myself a new PS3, and they're so cheap because obviously the PS4 is coming out. So,
Right.
you know, the price has just dropped. I literally was like, I can't believe how cheap it's. But you know, it's less than a third of what I paid for my original one.
Yeah.
That's just to replace my old PS3, and then you know, with the Xbox One is my new big baby that I'm getting. I'm gonna go a bit nuts on it. All my Christmas list for my parents are like, "What would you like for Christmas?" And I'm just like, "Here's a list of games." Go nuts. That's it. I don't want anything else. Okay.
Now one thing I wanted to bring up real quick was, did you know that Topps, the card company, actually released a Juno Eclipse card in their Galactic Files Series 2 set this year? It's
No.
Yeah, they have.
I did not know this.
You know what? I'll take a picture of it and send it to you on Facebook. And if you want, I could send one to you because I have a few different.
Oh my God, that would be amazing. I love collecting all the little things that have something to do with it, you know, because it's just kind of like, it feels just like, I don't know, I'm like my own weird geek collector of like anything to do with the Force Unleashed. It's so cool. Oh my God, I didn't know that. So there you go.
Yeah, sure.
I will have to get my hands on one of them. Take a picture and send it to me so I can see it.
Sure, for sure. All right,
thank you.
final questions, Nabil?
Yeah, did you know that they actually made a Starkiller figure for the Vintage Collection line
No.
from the Force Unleashed 2? Yeah, you know what Vintage Collection are? They're like figures that are based off, you know, the packaging's based off the original toys back in, you know, when the movies came out. Well, it's like that, and they had a current line from 2010 to what was it, last year, right?
Yeah,
Guys?
Oh, that's so awesome.
Right. So what they did was they did, all 6 movies plus Expanded Universe and Clone Wars, and they actually released a Star Killer from the Force Unleashed too. So it's, Sam on it and whatnot, and he has 2 different kinds of outfits with
Yeah.
his 2 blue lightsabers and whatnot. It would have been really cool if they had a Juno Eclipse one, and they didn't.
See, they missed out there. Because I would have bought it.
They didn't release any Force Unleashed figures except for that one Star Killer. That is it.
Oh, he does have the double lightsaber though, which is pretty cool.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I didn't even get a lightsaber. I had a blaster gun and the Rogue Shadow, but I didn't get a lightsaber. I was a bit annoyed about that. But, oh, okay.
It was actually interesting because I showed the figure to Sam when I met him back at Star Wars Celebration 6 during the Clone Wars Season 5 premiere.
Mhm.
And I guess it was his first time seeing it because he sort of geeked out on me when he saw it.
Oh, God,
I just
yes.
told him, hey, if you made it to the vintage collection, you're a legend.
That's it. You're set. So this is obviously my new ambition. I need to somehow get them to make a vintage
We're
collection.
gonna campaign for it now.
Yeah, we're gonna have
Yes.
to campaign
That's
that.
awesome. Add that to the campaign list. I love it. You guys are great.
I'll send you the picture as well on Facebook so you can see it.
Oh, cool. Thank you.
Do you have the multi-pack? It comes with Juno, Star Killer.
Yeah,
Okay, so you do have that one.
I do have that one. Yeah, I know. And I have the one that's just of Juno that actually doesn't look like me at all. It just looks like this little blonde figure thing. But it's still pretty cool.
What happened with that line when they released it was apparently, from what I was told, was that when they were in the stages of making the figures, they had only seen the concept art. This was before, I guess, you guys were hired, so that's why none of them look like you guys.
I know. Because they did tell me that when it came out, they showed it to me and they were like, "We're really sorry," but they had to go into production with the dolls before they'd even cast the actors for the characters. So I was a bit like, "Oh, okay. Well, it's still kind of me, so I'll just buy one anyway." So I still have it.
Awesome. Definitely. All right, Chris, your final question?
All right, my final question is, all right, Star Wars movies, what are you, original trilogy fan or a prequel fan?
Original trilogy.
Ooh,
Sorry.
yes, awesome.
Yeah, definitely. Because those were the first ones that I saw. And I was like really little when I saw them and just thought they were the most amazing thing ever. They're like, it's like a fantasy world. I mean, when you're small and you watch that for the first time and they've got these little Ewok things and there's this little green wizardy type thing and you just think it's incredible. And then I watched them again, obviously, when I was like a teenager and all of a sudden you're going, "Hello, Han Solo, how are you?" It just takes it to another level. The original trilogy are just the best films ever. They're my favorite films in the whole world. They're like my go-to films if I'm ill and I want to watch something on TV, or if I'm, feeling like a lazy Sunday afternoon and it's raining outside and you pop a DVD on, they're definitely the most amazing films ever. I just think they're so incredible. And you can still watch them now and still thoroughly enjoy them, even though you've seen them 1,000 times.
Yeah, they're
and if they're on TV, you go, "Oh, look, Return of the Jedi's on. Let's watch it." And you're like, "I've seen it several times. I have it on DVD, but I'm going to watch it on TV anyway." So, yeah, I'm definitely original trilogy all the way.
Awesome.
That's awesome.
All right, Mike, your final question?
Yeah, my final question is, how would you rank these 3 original trilogy films from greatest to least?
That's a good question.
Well, which ones? Well, I have to put them in order with which one I like the most.
Your favorite to your least favorite.
Oh no,
Or either.
that's really. I don't know. I think the first one had to be my favorite because it's when you meet all the characters for the first time, and I think it's
Yeah, I agree.
yeah, and then Return of the Jedi, and then The Empire Strikes Back.
Ooh. Usually everyone
man.
likes Empire first, so
Right?
that's totally that's a
That
different
have I
answer.
been really controversial?
Yep, you're causing some controversy.
Don't even ask me why, and I'm going to go, "I don't know. I couldn't. I don't know."
Oh, that's actually
It's really hard to make a decision out of those last 2 because the first one is my all-time favorite because it sets you up for everything else that comes. It's tough. It's difficult to choose between those last 2. It's like asking to choose which is your favorite child. His choice. It's like I can't choose between the two. Sorry. I've caused some arguments there with listeners, maybe, but I apologize, guys. Moving.
My final question is, well, first, is there any conventions you're going to be coming to? And second, what projects are you working on currently?
I went to Celebration 4 in LA in 2007 when the game was first coming out, and that was my first ever sort of leap into the convention world. Yeah, it was a good start. It was pretty intense, I must say. I didn't really know what to expect. And then since then, I've never done any conventions. I've kind of been working so much and hidden away from the whole Star Wars thing. And it's only this year that I've actually gone on Facebook and Twitter for the first time and sort of launched myself. And so I did my first convention since Celebration, a very small one in Hampshire in England, that was for charity, and it was really lovely, and they were so great, and the response was just so amazing that I just thought, this is brilliant, and I think that I definitely need to do some more. So I have a couple lined up for next year in England. Who knows whether they will include some international ones. I would love to do some international ones. Yeah. I think it would be great. It's so amazing when you meet the fans, and they're just, everybody loves Star Wars so much, and it's so great that when you get to go into a room with a whole bunch of people that love the same thing that you do, and you just talk about it for the whole day. I mean, how perfect is that? So I would love to do some international conventions. I would, by all means, let you know as soon as I know. In terms of work coming up, I've got a couple of TV things that I'm in the process of filming over here in England, and I have another computer game coming out that this is so annoying. I can't really tell you what it is, unfortunately. It's coming out this year. I'm only a small part in it, but it's kind of a key part. And it's a big game. So when it comes out, I'll pop it on Facebook, and you guys can, have a look.
Definitely.
See what it's like. It's not a Star Wars game, though, I'm afraid. Trust me, I would be shouting that from the rooftops if it was. But yeah, things are busy, so I'm it's going to be a busy end to the year, and next year is going to be pretty good as well. So awesome. I will keep you updated. Don't worry.
Awesome. Now, real quick, if you want to make a quick plug, where we can find you on Twitter and Facebook.
I'm on Twitter. It's at Nathalie with an H, NATHALIE C Cox COX. It's a relatively small Twitter following at the moment because I haven't been on there very long. So by all means, follow me. I'm on there all the time. I'm like this newbie on Twitter that's like constantly posting stuff. And I'm on Facebook as well. I'm linked up with you guys on Facebook, so people who are listening can get to me through there. But yeah, I'm on there all the time, telling you really non-interesting things about how I can't cook and
Yeah, I saw your post about fried chicken.
Yep, that's what I was making tonight. So, and unfortunately, the London Fire Brigade is on strike tonight, so I've had to be very, very careful about it. But yeah, so I'm on the internet now. That's it. I'm out there, and it's great to talk to fans and stuff. And it's really nice that people enjoy Star Wars as much as I do. So thank you.
Oh yeah, it's anytime. So thank you very much for coming on, Nathalie. We really appreciate it. I will get you that message on Facebook as soon as I can. So
I would love that. Thank you very much for having me. It's been a pleasure to talk to you guys.
Oh yeah, same here.
Thank you.
Right. Thank you. Take care.
Okay, bye.
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 All rights belong to Disney and Lucasfilm or their respective copyright holders. This is a fan podcast, only meant for entertainment and information purposes. Head on over to StarWars.com for any official news, and be sure to subscribe to our channel. And the Force will be with you always.